Today I'll be unboxing and reviewing a saber from a series that is incredibly affordable, and it uses the XenoPixel or the Xeno RGB V3 soundboards. This is exactly what the Frugal Jedi is all about, finding an incredibly good deal for a really good saber. Let's go. Welcome to all my Jedi and Sith companions. I am your host, the Frugal Jedi, and thank you for joining me as we take a look at this really interesting looking hilt that comes from AliExpress, and it's directly from LGTsaber. So LGT is also known as LGT Nexus. They're trying to rebrand, but they just can't seem to get rid of the LGT part because it's so well known. But LGT Nexus has a store. They actually have a few stores on AliExpress. And this one is called the LGTsaber Store. And the way it's spelled and the spacing is a little different, so I'll make sure to include links to the product as well as to the official store so you can check out everything they have. The model we're looking at today is called HX002. And if you have a look at the product link in the description, it'll take you to the page and you'll see that there are 6 different hilt designs to choose from. And the prices are just phenomenal. The HX001 comes in gray, black, or silver, and the price starts at $79 US, and the shipping to Canada was $12.22 US. So that'll have 16 sound fonts built in. You have the sensitive smooth swing. This saber will respond to every single motion that you give it. It can do accent swing, so when you swing it fast, it'll make a different sound. It has lockup and blaster effects, flash on clash when you hit it, Bluetooth. I mean, they are so good. You can also get it XRGB with a micro SD card. So now you'll have 34 sound fonts included. Plus you can add more and you can add music. And if that's something that interests you, definitely get it with the micro SD card. And if you want the Pixel version, so Pixel means that the blade has lights built into it, and you're going to get all those cool effects of ignition and retraction and lockup and blaster affecting different parts of the blade and fire blade. I mean, there's just so much that those can do. The price for that one is $139 US. The one we're looking at, the HX002, the price is a little different. It's a little higher, but I decided I wanted to get something that has a little different hilt design than something I've seen before. There's HX004 with a green hilt, and there is HX005, and that one has a brushed steel look to it and very cool looking emitter. So depending on which hilt you pick and which configuration, the price is going to vary. You know where to get one and how much they cost, which is not a whole lot. I'm going to point the camera down, unbox it, show you how it comes and what it comes with. And just so you know, I've already removed a cellophane wrapper around the hilt because it was very tricky to get off, and I don't want to be wasting time on camera trying to unwrap cellophane off the hilt. But the hilt will come completely protected, just so you know. It's a very comfortable hilt. It is only just over 10 inches long, but because it's so straight and there's nothing too crazy and fancy about it, you can hold it really comfortably with 2 hands. So it has the brushed aluminum finish with those red accents on it. and it has like a crown pattern for the emitter and 2 screws to hold in the blade, so 1 on each side. And let me give it a couple of whacks here. It's going to see how well it holds it in. And it's doing a tremendous job. What usually happens is after a few hits, the vibration will cause the screws to back off a little bit and it'll start to wobble. But it's good. Of course, I'm not going to be here for half an hour doing this. And eventually, you will get a little bit of wobble. There's not much you can do about that, right? It's just the nature of screws. You just tighten them up again and you're good to go. USB-C charging right above the button. You take your USB cable plugged into a 5-volt 1-amp charger.
Charging.
And then when it's done charging, it'll say ready. And you can check your battery life using the Bluetooth app, which is nice. And you have gesture control, so you can switch sound fonts.
New Horizon.
And there are 34 sound fonts on here, which is incredible. And what's cool is that it'll remember every single color that you pick and blade style. So you have steady blade, you have pulse, and you have unstable. So let's go to a different sound font.
The Dark Sword.
So the Dark Sword, well, we all know what that means. And it's set to blue, and we can change it very easily.
Color change.
So this will do an infinite color change.
Color selected.
And you can also use the app to change colors as well. If you do want a complete in-depth tutorial on how to use the button on the XRGB, as well as how to use all the gesture and motion controls, I will put a card up right there. And just watch that tutorial, and that'll give you a complete rundown of how to operate one of these. But you can hear how clear and loud that sound is. This is high volume. And you can also hear that it reacts to my every movement. And if I swing it really hard, you'll hear an accent swing. You heard that one? I'll do it again. But yeah, these are such incredible sabers to have. Now what's kind of weird is the way it comes apart. So they have just this bottom section that unscrews, which shows you the speaker. The only issue is that the rest of the body is one piece. If you want to take out that micro SD card to add more sound fonts or music, you have to take off 2 screws on the back and then slide the core out, remove the micro SD card. Now that doesn't upset me too much because I'm not going to be doing that every single day. I'm going to put whatever sound fonts I want and whatever music I want, and I'm probably not going to really add much more to it. And I mean, I guess just because of the design of it, where would they add that section, right? Like where would it connect up here because of the design on it? So I'll let it slide. But having the pommel unthreading from up there, and I checked this piece thinking maybe this piece comes apart. It doesn't. It's one piece. Well, if you wanted to make a staff saber, you can't, just because of the way it's made like that. It would have made a lot more sense if that black piece and this silver piece came apart right here, so I could add a coupler and make a staff saber. Let's try a different sound font.
The Dark Empress.
The Dark Empress. Sounds really cool. And you can just hear how it responds to every single movement. And you can hear the accent swings when I swing it fast. I am going to demonstrate the saber. Unfortunately, my sparring partner, the Padawan, had to go back to his home in another province, and he won't be here. But he's coming back in the summer, and we're going to have so many cool duels. And we are going to try out some new locations, and we have some ideas in mind. Maybe like a little mini short movie or something. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But today I am just going to spin it around and see how it feels doing Obi Annies, how I like that length. I mean, right now I could tell that, this is going to be so easy for spinning. Let me check the balance point. Now that's a long blade, 36 inches. So yeah, it's going to wobble that way. And it's around there. So it's not too bad. If I had a 32-inch blade, it would be a little better balanced. And if you're wondering, what's better, a 36-inch or a 32-inch blade? It's really up to you, and how tall you are is a big factor. If you're a short person and you're doing spins, you're probably going to be hitting the blade on the ground. So I'd recommend a 32-inch blade. If you're taller, go for a 36-inch. If you want something for cosplay or for doing duels in movies, Canon is 36-inch or 92-centimeter long blade. So that would be like a Canon length of blade right there. After I do my little demonstration, join me in the end for my final thoughts. It's time for my final thoughts. So let me tell you what I think of the HX002 that comes from LGTsaber Store on AliExpress. It was shipped in a timely manner. Took around 2 weeks to get here, which is great. And the box is nothing beautiful. It's just, your simple cardboard lightsaber box. This had cellophane that was wrapped so tightly around it so nothing could get scratched on it. And the blade also had cellophane protection. A little bit of foam in there as well to keep things from rattling around. So all in all, packaging is good. If you haven't used an XRGB V3 lightsaber, meaning that you've never tried one of these, and you can identify them very easily by the button. It has that Imperial logo on it. In my opinion, the Xeno RGB or the XRGB V3 is the best RGB soundboard that you can get. It can do so much, and the Bluetooth is just icing on the cake. The sound quality, the sensitive smooth swing, all the functions, I mean, it's tremendous. Now, having a look at the design of the saber, it's nothing too luxurious. It is very simple. It is different, that's for sure. I've never seen anything quite like it. Some of you might think it's really ugly, and others might think it looks really cool. For me, I mean, I don't think it's ugly, but at the same time, it's not something that's gorgeous. But it does the job, and for the price you're paying, it's nice. My two complaints are the fact that you have to take off 2 screws on the back and slide out the core to access the micro SD card. And secondly, they should have really had a separation here so that you could take off just this section to add a coupler and make a staff saber. But other than that, would I recommend it? If you've never owned one of these, you're looking for a first saber, you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want to get the best of the best for an RGB, I mean, this is it. Whether you choose this hilt or a different hilt, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. But yeah, the XRGB is incredible. So yes, I would recommend it. I'd even recommend this hilt for people who are not really concerned about adding music and adding sound fonts. You're not really a tinkerer, you just want to use it. Get it with the micro SD card, and you'll have 34 sound fonts, which is tons, and you'll have a lot of fun with it. It's great for spinning, feels comfortable, so yes, I like it. If you found this video helpful and you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget as well to subscribe to my channel. I would like to say thank you once again to all my subscribers, over 1,900 now, so I'm going to be hitting 2,000 soon, which is crazy. It's going to be 2 years, so I'm doing 1,000 a year. That's tremendous, and thank you so much for your support. And please, if you have any questions or comments, maybe there's something you want to see in the future, just drop it in the comment section. I do look through all the comments, and I try to answer everyone. Sometimes I get distracted, or I'm busy with work, my real work, which is not this, unfortunately. But if I do get distracted, I will try to respond. And sometimes I don't even see them because of the way YouTube works. It won't show me unread messages. So if you just tag, or if you put @TheFrugalJedi, that'll make sure that I get a notification, so that way I can see your comment and reply to you. And lastly, hit that bell if you want to stay notified whenever I release a new review. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. May the Force be with you.